New Hampshire's State House, among the least bad governing institutions on earth. But even here, legislators plot theft and destruction. However, they don't do it without opposition. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance stands in their path and stands ready to train you in the ways of the Citizen Freedom Lobby. Visit nhliberty.org to get involved. Dave Ridley here, signing in for ridleyreport.com from the State House in Concord, New Hampshire. The committee you just saw is going into executive session, and they're going to discuss, possibly vote on House Bill 1623, which would reduce penalties for marijuana possession substantially in New Hampshire. Interesting to note that outside the hearing room and inside the spot where the legislative staff have their offices, I'm sorry to report that there's some propaganda, including a snitch line number, a number you can call to destroy lives of people who haven't hurt anyone. But inside the hearing room, more constructive things are happening. Although I don't know if they're addressing the marijuana bill right now. All right, well, one of the reasons why there's so few people in here is simply because the hearing is, the executive session on that particular issue, the decrim bill, does not come up until later. It's going to be probably hours before they get to it, so that's why there's so few of us in there. Okay, standing here with Representative John Thole of...
I live in Whitefield. I'm chief of police in Dalton.
Okay, so he's also both a representative and a chief of police. And you were telling me this was a real struggle for you. You said it was a tough vote.
It was.
You did vote against the decriminalization, but...
Yes, I did. I voted for the amendment, which would have caused the quantity for a violation level to be a quarter ounce. But in the end, I was kind of torn and decided that I kind of had to vote against the bill itself.
What's your main concern with the bill?
I have a couple of concerns. It kind of allows possession of a small amount, but it still makes it a misdemeanor if you have it in a car. It makes it a felony if you give some of that to somebody else, or if you buy some of it from somebody. It just 318B is just so intertwined. It would kind of give a signal to somebody it's okay to have it, but they could actually get in more trouble, misunderstanding the other portions of 318B, and it could get them into something much more serious than a mere minor possession.
Okay. How about, do you feel like, though, there's going to be more people in jail as a result of this continuing to be law than there would have been if it had failed? I'm sorry, if this bill had passed, wouldn't it have resulted in fewer people being in jail?
I don't believe so.
Really?
And the reason I say that is because in the 35 years I've been a police officer, I've never seen anybody go to jail for a first offense possession of marijuana, even sometimes over a pound, which would be a felony charge. They very often get a probation or a suspended sentence or something like that. I don't, and I can't speak for the whole state because I've worked in the northern counties, but I've never seen anybody go to jail for small amounts of marijuana, and only rarely for things up to a pound.
And you were telling me you do feel it's important for, this is one of the things I appreciated, you feel it's important for an officer to exercise discretion and not always go to the full extent of the law when having the opportunity to.
Well, that's correct. And when a law enforcement officer deals with any situation, he needs to be able to look at the situation, look at the surrounding facts, look at the circumstances, and make a decision whether or not this needs to be a very flagrant violation, or it's a minor violation, or whether or not this is a situation that deals with a warning. If you said to everybody, this is the law, you enforce it to the letter, we'd have a police state. Because everybody, I don't know anybody who can go a full day without breaking some law, either by ignorance or by not paying attention or something. We all we're human beings. We make mistakes. So you need to use discretion when you're dealing with people who have come across the law enforcement, and for whatever reason they've done it. You need to look at each situation independently and differently.
Any thoughts on what needs to change next session for you to be able to vote in favor of something like this?
I really don't know. I mean, there's so many reasons why I think that, for example, first offense possession is normally treated as a violation, even though it's a misdemeanor. But 318B is such a convoluted, intertwined statute that I think it would necessitate a complete rewrite of the statute. And I'm not sure that there is a will to do that, and I'm not even sure that I want to do that. But I'm still concerned that we have people getting into trouble for things that you would think they would be smart enough to realize can get them into trouble.
All right. Well, I guess you could also say people that think things you would think would not be all that serious under the law because they don't hurt anybody, but they are.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Representative Phil, thanks for your time and for talking with me and for your candor.
You're welcome.
I'm sitting here with Representative Jeff Fontas, who is the sponsor of... Hang on. Okay, sorry, I had to interrupt that to make sure the hearing was not still in session. Anyway,
yeah, no problem.
Jeff Fontas of... where do you represent?
I'm from Nashua.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're the sponsor of the marijuana decriminalization bill, and what are your thoughts on... Why do you think this should have passed? There was a lot of different reasons why people voted against it.
Well, there was a lot of reasons why people voted against it. I thought there was a good discussion in committee. This is the farthest the marijuana decriminalization bill has gone in the Criminal Justice and Public Safety Committee, so I'm proud to be part of that effort. I originally introduced it because I was concerned about students losing eligibility for financial aid. Through the FAST reform, drug conviction is the only crime that you can lose eligibility for financial aid on the FAST reform. So that was, as a young person who's just recently decided to attend college, I'm in college now, I thought that was critically important to preserve that privilege for other young people. So that's one of the reasons why I introduced the bill. It's one of the issues I brought up in the committee hearing. We had a very long discussion. A lot of viewpoints were shared, and I think ultimately we're all better from hearing that discussion. I mean, ultimately it wasn't the result that I was hoping for, but we'll see what happens when it goes to the floor of the House.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about what's happened so far with this overall?
I've been surprised. A lot of the other decriminalization bills that came in, I would say, are a little more unreasonable, so they were a lot less palatable, and the committee members were a lot less receptive to them. But this one, they actually took the time to amend the bill. This is the first time that I've seen a marijuana bill ever get amended. So the committee actually adopted the amendment to an executive session today. So that was a big, at least sort of a victory for me.
What do you hope will happen next?
Well, it's going to the floor. I'm hoping that the House will overturn the ITL report and will adopt the amendment that the committee originally adopted. And then I'm hoping that the House will recommend that it passes and it will go over to the Senate.
And that would result in, what, a quarter of an ounce being now a violation?
Yeah.
Anything more than that
would still be a misdemeanor. Yeah.
Okay, or still remains a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
All right, well, Representative Fontas, thanks for your time and your effort on this one.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks. It was a pleasure.